Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Curious Minds. Our topic for today is social movements, and this is chapter 8 of Social Change and Development in India. This is class 12 Sociology. This is part 3rd of the video. Now, before we start, there are some important reminders. Very first is that this is the last chapter which we are going to cover in class 12 Sociology series. If you have any doubts, if we've missed out any topic, if we've missed out any chapter, do write to us. We love to hear from you people. Okay, and in case you're not finding some of the videos, do check out our playlists for class 12 Sociology. You'll get them there for sure. Now, our topic for today is ecological movements. Okay, and before we start, you guys need to understand that in the book ecological movements, like ecological movements are not explained that well. The only thing which is mentioned there is the CHIPKO Andolan or the movement. Okay, so whenever you write an answer, your answer needs to have an introduction, it needs to have a conclusion, and obviously it needs to have some body to it. Okay, so whenever somebody asks you regarding ecological movements, this is how you write. Firstly, you introduce it by explaining what ecological movement mean, an environmental movement or the ecological movement. It can be defined as a social or a political movement for the conservation of the environment or for the improvement of the state of the environment. So any of the two things, okay? Either it is for the conservation of the environment or the improvement of the state of the environment. Now there are certain terms such as green movement, there is this conservation movement. They are also used alternatively to denote the same thing. Okay, so this is what ecological movements, they strive for, or they can be defined as. See, what they strive for is sustainable management of natural resources. Striving for is like what they aim for, what they want to change. Okay, now what they want is sustainable management of natural resources, and for that to happen, what needs to happen? See, public policy needs to be changed. So they strive for both these things. Okay, both these things is what they strive for, what they aim for. This is their objective. So you've understood what these movements mean, you understood what their objectives are. Let's move further. I already told you CHIPKO movement is the only movement which is explained in the book. So we'll just, go through the small gist of it. See, it was a non-violent agitation which originated in Uttar Pradesh Chamoli district, which is now in Uttarakhand, and it was led by Sundarlal Bahuguna in 1973. Okay, the name of the movement CHIPKO, it comes from the word embrace, as the villagers hugged the trees and encircled them to prevent being hacked. So what happened was, you might know it already. So the villagers there, they started embracing the trees so that, they were not cut. Basically, the objective of the movement was to protect the trees on the Himalayan slopes from the axes of contractors of the forest. So they did not want trees to be cut. So therefore, they did this. One thing you have to remember, that it was also influenced by the BISHNOI movement. Okay, BISHNOI movement, we are going to understand it further. Okay, we'll know about it. See, this is CHIPKO movement. Whenever somebody asks you to write a short note on ecological movement, you don't explain only one movement. You explain some movements, and you introduce it. You explain some movements to such an extent that you need to have a gist of the movement. Okay, so you need to have the objective, who led it, in which year it was led, and what it actually means. Okay, let's move forward. Next is the BISHNOI movement. See, I told you CHIPKO movement was somewhere also influenced by the BISHNOI movement. It happened in 1700s. This movement was led by Amrita Devi, in which around 363 people sacrificed their lives for the protection of their forests. Where did it happen? See, the CHIPKO movement happened where? Chamoli district, Uttarakhand. This happened in Khejarli, Rajasthan. This was to save sacred trees from being cut down by king's soldiers for a new palace. So this is the objective. This movement was the first of its kinds to have developed the strategy of hugging or embracing the trees for their protection spontaneously. So BISHNOI movement happened first, and then the CHIPKO Andolan, which was it was influenced. See, here also they embraced the trees, Khejri trees. Okay, so sacred trees, and there also. Okay, so this is what we know about the BISHNOI movement, and let's move forward. There are some other movements too. One is Silent Valley Project. Now the year is 1978. Okay, it happened in Kerala. It was to protect the moist evergreen forest from being destroyed by hydroelectric project. Another movement is CHIPKO movement, 1983. It happened in Karnataka. It was against the felling and commercialization of natural forest and the ruin of ancient livelihood. The next movement is Narmada Bachao Andolan. It was against number of large dams being built across the Narmada River. So 1985. See, these are some other movements. Like 3 movements are here. 2 we've discussed. 1 is the introduction. So this is how you write an answer. This is a really short video. I hope you understood it. If you have any doubts, any recommendations, do write to us. We love to hear from you people. So this is it for today's video. If you have a recommendation regarding a small topic and you want small videos such as this, do write to us. Okay, so stay safe, stay home, and study hard.